The quiet signs you're mentally overloaded. You don't always notice when your mind is overloaded. There's no alarm, no breakdown, no dramatic moment. Most of the time, mental overload arrives quietly. You wake up, go through the day, do what you're supposed to do, and yet something feels off. Not bad enough to panic, not clear enough to explain, just heavy. At first, you tell yourself you're fine. Everyone is tired. Everyone is busy. But mental overload doesn't look like chaos. It looks like functioning on the surface, while clarity slowly fades underneath. One of the first signs is constant low-level tension. Not anxiety exactly, just background tightness. Your jaw clenches, shoulders stay raised, and even during rest, your body doesn't fully relax. The nervous system forgets how to switch off. Another sign is mental noise. Thoughts don't stop, but they don't move forward either. You replay conversations, plan things repeatedly, think about tasks you're not doing. The mind loops, not because it's productive, but because it's overloaded. Decision fatigue appears next. Simple choices start feeling heavy. What to eat, what to watch, when to reply. You delay not because you don't care, but because your mental capacity is already used up. Emotional flattening often follows. You're not deeply sad, but not excited either. Things that once mattered now feel neutral. This isn't depression. It's saturation. When the mind handles too much for too long, it lowers emotional volume to cope. Irritation shows up in small ways. Noise feels louder. Interruptions feel intrusive. Questions feel demanding. When mental bandwidth is full, there's no buffer left. Everything hits directly. Sleep changes too. Either your thoughts won't slow down, or you sleep but wake up unrested. Mental overload doesn't disappear at night. The brain keeps processing in the background. Procrastination is another misunderstood sign. Starting feels harder than continuing, so you scroll or delay. Not laziness protection. The system avoids adding more input. You may also withdraw socially. Not because you dislike people, but because interaction requires attention and emotion. When resources are low, even pleasant conversations feel draining. Perspective gets distorted. Everything feels equally urgent or equally pointless. Prioritizing becomes difficult. Big problems feel overwhelming. Small tasks feel strangely heavy. Overload usually comes from accumulation, not crisis. Too many open loops, too much information, too little recovery. Modern life keeps the mind constantly engaged without pause. Pushing harder doesn't fix overload. Adding productivity systems or forcing focus often makes it worse. Overload resolves through reduction, not pressure. What helps is removing demand, closing loops, allowing things to remain unfinished, creating moments with no decisions, no performance, no evaluation. That's real mental rest. Mental rest isn't scrolling. It's absence of demand, space where nothing is required from you. In that space, clarity slowly returns. Naming overload without judgment matters too. Not something is wrong with me, but my system is full. Overload isn't failure, it's information. You don't need a full reset. You need rhythm, engagement, followed by recovery. Input balanced with emptiness. The mind doesn't break loudly, it dims quietly. And if you listen early, it doesn't need to collapse to be heard. So if you feel heavy, flat, distracted, or irritable without a clear reason, pause. Not to fix yourself, but to notice. Mental overload isn't weakness. And when it's respected, the mind returns, slowly, calmly, naturally. Not as excitement, but as lightness. And sometimes, that quiet lightness is enough.